Ooh, happy Halloween, everybody. I am going to do a flip through of my finished 2025 Halloween journal. And this journal is based on the prompts and the challenge from Kia Creates, who has an awesome YouTube channel. She has tons of stickers and products and books. I love working on this project every year. It's my third year. So we're supposed to do a flip through on Halloween. I might post this a smidge early because if I post it on Halloween, I'm going to be too overwhelmed. I'm like a mom, so I'm volunteering in the classroom for crafts and then trick-or-treating. So this is coming out a little bit early. But my journal is finished and I'm super excited. This year I found this paper, maybe at Jerry's Artorama. I can't remember, but I just loved it. Could be Paper Source. But I wanted to use this as the cover of my journal. It's a little busy, but I just had to use it. And then I put my new ArtFoamies stamp, my Halloween girl, on the cover, and she just came out so perfect for the journal. So every year I have like a little pocket. I put this sticker on here. This is one of my stickers in my shop. And then I always like to add the year because it helps me keep them apart since now that I have 3, so I always put that in there. And I'm using a lot of my stencils in this book, so you'll see a lot of my stencils, most of which are still in my shop. Some sell out. And then the paper for the journal, because people always ask me, I like to use the Tim Holtz Ideology backgrounds paper. It's kind of the perfect size for these journals, and they have themes, and they have like a Halloween one. So I find it's perfect for this journal. So I like to use those when I'm binding it. I always have a prompt page. I'm fighting with the sun. So you have to excuse me. The sun is just like pouring in through my window. And this year, the prompts were 2 per prompt, I think, so that people didn't feel so overwhelmed to do 31 different pages, but you could. So I put all the prompts in here, and it's really helpful to have it in the journal because I can go back and say, okay, what was day 3? What was I supposed to do? And I do like to number them, although my number has come off. It was a 1. So this is day 1, Halloween Challenge 2025. And that's the title page. And then day 2 was, see, now I need to go back to my prompts. Title page. So I just was working more with colors in this one. So I had a lot of purples and mauves and oranges. These are all, again, some more of the Halloween stamps that I designed for ArtFoamies. They're over there until the 31st, I think. Super, super fun. Loved doing those. And then day 3 was, I can't remember if it's October Bingo. So I happened to have a stamp that said October, more of my ArtFoamies, and just, you know, various ideology people. This is a stencil of mine. I think the October is ArtFoamies stamp, but just super fun. Like there happened to be a bingo page here, so it worked out perfectly. And then usually I'll try to repeat the prompt since there's 2, and I like to do 31 days of the journal. So I'll either repeat the prompt twice or I'll just wing it for the next page. So here I just found this cute Halloween girl in a collage soup book, which is a lot of the other images I'll be using. And I kind of liked this inner home, like dining room. So I had her looking at that. And then I just doodled and again used some of my stamps and stencils on the page there. Autumn colors. So here I kind of played with the different colors of autumn. So I had a lot of like fiery oranges and reds and yellows, and then some of the greens. I put her in there because it almost looked like she had like apples on her head. I should have saved her for the apple orchard page, but I did not. And then I continued with that theme using fall colors. I like working in these books because I don't really have any rules. I just kind of go with the flow and have fun. So I just glue and paste, you know, kind of at my own page, like, you know, discretion. And then pages 6 and 7 were fall leaves. So actually, autumn colors, maybe this was autumn colors, fall leaves. And I have these people, oh, they're right here, that I absolutely love. These kind of star and moon people. I just use them all the time around Halloween. They just are so kind of reminiscent of Victorian, like those star and like moon faces. So I loved using them in this journal. I have a lot of leaf stencils that came out this year, so I put a lot of those in there as well. And then this next prompt, the next 2 pages, was Cozy Cafe. So, you know, sometimes I take the prompts very literally, and sometimes I'm just a lot more playful with it. So I always love putting this kind of hanging lantern stencil in there, and just kind of playing with the theme. Here I decided to put my little witch in a cafe. Like I made a door. I thought that would be fun. And just having fun making like mugs and things like that. Although this bat in a jar, I don't think I'd find him in a cozy cafe. And then the next prompts were ransom note, which is kind of a style of writing. So I like doing that. I have a lot of stamps. These are from Darkroom Door. And a lot of Tim Holtz images. So I use those for this one because I just thought it would be fun. And I made a window for this. So this goes up to days 11. Somewhere in here, I mess up my days, which pretty much happens most years. So 12 and 13 are pumpkins and polka dots. So I did lots of pumpkins in here, and my little back girl, who I love. And then here I just did lots of polka dot, like pumpkins. This is a witch girl from a few years back. An ArtFoamies girl. She has polka dots on her shirt, but I turned them into little spiders. I just thought it would be really cute. So I had fun with that. And then these days, 14 and 15, I believe, are apple orchard. So I did a little house and a field, and then some ArtFoamies here. This is one of my trees, and I just tried to make it kind of like apple orchard, but you know, with a Halloween twist. I love these girls. So that's what I did. And then I found some collage with apples in it, so I put those on the next page. I couldn't help but put one of my snake images on there because, you know, I just thought that would be funny. And then Edgar Allan Poe, he's another ArtFoamie as well. So then I got the days messed up. So what I decided to do, so 16 and 17, I can't remember. I somehow missed 16. So in order to catch up, I just did 3 moonlit and starry so that I could catch up with bats and cats, which was easy because I love these moons and stars, so I put them on everything. And I made these pages like really glittery and sparkly. And again, like a lot of imagery from Collage Soup. I think the book that I was using from them is called Bougie Boo, and it's like Halloween themed. So there's a lot of great images in there, and I just had fun with the glitter and the stars. So I never tire of this kind of theme, so I just put it everywhere in here, like moons and stars, and lots of my different animal images in there. So that brings us up to 18. And then I think I was back on track. So 18, so 19 and 20 is bats and cats. So I did one page that was all bats because I have this Batgirl and this little like moth baby. So she could be a bat. So I just thought it all went together. And then some various ArtFoamies for that as well. And then bats and cats. I found some really cool bat images in the Collage Soup book. And, you know, again, I'm just really trying to have fun, like using all the images that I've had over the years and just kind of add them in with lots of little doodles and dots. Super fun. And then I think this was stripes, spooky stripes for the next 2 days. And so I found a ton of images in the Collage Soup with a lot of literal like pages with stripes and images. So I kind of chopped them up and added them, and then found people with striped tights. So this one was really easy to throw together and super, super fun. So, which is nice because some pages, you know, I don't have to do too much. Like this is all one page in the book, but I just thought it was so cute. I wanted to put it in there by itself. And then 23 and 24, I believe, is Vintage Halloween. And I have some of these sticker books. I'm going to blank on the name, but everybody has them, I feel. They've been around for a few years. And there were some vintage stickers in there that I found, so I threw those in there. I think this is like from a Martha Stewart project from like years ago that I just made a whole bunch of. I love that owl. And then just more vintage images. Here's that vintage moon that I love that people used to use. So just super having fun, like adding all this stuff. It just makes you feel like a kid again. Like these are all the things I was drawn to as a kid. And then my video day was Witchy Vibes. And so this page is the page I created as a video on my YouTube. So if you scroll back, you'll see Halloween Challenge, day 25. And so Witchy Vibes, again, I like to use that stencil that has the lanterns in it. And I just played with some of my tree stencils. I have some birds and just this stamp that I just can't get enough of. I just love her so much. So I used her quite a bit. And just adding some pumpkins and lots of orange black. So this was a fun one to create. And then the next day for Witchy Vibes, I have, you know, I create a lot of witches ahead of time. So again, just using a lot of my stencils to create like watercolor leaves and pods, and stickers. And, you know, some days I don't have a ton of time, which is great with these Tim Holtz background pages because they're kind of, they've already got something going. And then 27 and 28 are Boo Ghosts. And again, the Collage Soup book had some ghosts in there, which I just loved. I didn't even want to do too much, so I just cut those out and just mixed a couple more elements in there with my doodles. And then On this page, I use a lot of ArtFoamies. These are some Ghost ArtFoamies from Keisha Davini from years ago. KP has this cute like row of houses, so I use those. And just really had fun doing the ghost theme. I just think these are so cute, these little ghosts. So I loved stamping those. And then 29 and 30 is Haunted House. So, you know, just poking around for haunted house images. I put another witch in there. I have to use them up, so I made a whole bunch knowing that this project was coming. And that makes life easy because then you can just kind of throw things together. And then here's another old house. I like putting the vintage people around because they kind of look kind of ghostly to me. So just throwing them in there, and the cat kind of running out of the house. I just thought that was fun. And then the last page was Halloween. So I should have typed or printed out like Happy Halloween for the 31st. But at this moment, like I had just discovered the pages in my sticker books that had all the Halloween stuff. So I was like, oh, I want to put that all in there. And I even had like quite a bit more that I wanted to add. I love these, like, they almost look like Japanese pigeons. And this little dancing like Batgirl, I thought she was so pretty. And this one with the spider web dress. So I wanted to put them in there because, you know, next year I'll go to look at the book and page through it. So, but what a fun thing to work on. I kind of lose my focus in October because I'm so into Halloween. I think I say this every year. I used to live in Salem, and that's kind of, I just unintentionally moved there. It was outside the city and it was cheaper than Boston. But, you know, living in Halloween City for a few years, it just became this really fun time. And plus I loved Halloween when I was a kid. So, you know, I don't live there anymore, but being able to work in these books kind of bring back all the fun memories of the parties and the parades and the decorations I started collecting there. I started collecting a lot of Victorian decorations in Salem, themed. I mean, not real ones, but so anyway, long story short, I love working on this project, and I kind of devote most of my time to it in October. I just can't help myself. And I love that Kia does this challenge every year. I hope she does it again next year. It's just been such a pleasure. And you know, there's so many talented people working on all the different pages. So I'm so excited to have another book to put on my shelf with my other Halloween challenge books. And I can't wait to do this again next year.